My nice and caring girlfriend has learned how much I earn, and now she is demanding that I spoil her frequently. I've been making pretty solid money at my job, and business has been booming in the area I oversee. I work my ass off, working 9 to 5 in the scorching western sun. I am 19, and my girlfriend is 20. She is unemployed but hasn't looked for a job since before we were even dating. I've addressed that issue with her many times, but she always shoots me down and plays the victim. Now, I do mobile banking with a relatively small bank in my city. All my expenses and gains are listed in the app, so it's all I use. The thing is, when you open the app, it requires you to enter your password before you can do anything. Cut to last week. I had just got to my apartment on payday after work. She came over, and we were talking about our days when I decided to check my bank account. She must have been looking over my shoulder and saw my password before I got into the shower. She then opened my phone without me giving her permission and looked at my balance. When I got out of the shower, she was furious. She went on a rant about how I never treat her or care for her, both exaggerations considering I take her out every week and buy her gifts regularly, and how I need to clean up my act if we are to stay together because I make too much to not treat her like a goddamn queen. She has never acted like this towards me, so I got very upset. We argued for a while, and after a few hours, she stormed out of my apartment. I'm on my last leg here. My mind is telling me to leave, but she's genuinely nice and caring, something I've never really had in a relationship before. Help me. Relevant comments. Comment. You've already learned everything you need to know. She stole your password and snooped behind your back. She feels entitled to what you work for. She refuses to even look for work and expects you to finance her life. You're so damn lucky for this to happen only 6 months in. Bullet dodged. Comment. Also, sweep your house for surveillance equipment, check your car for tracking devices, and your toothbrush is compromised. But for reals, also change your locks if she has a copy of your key. Comment. Dump her. She broke into your access to your bank account. She then used the information she saw there to make claims against your income, and she doesn't work at all. Change your password and dump your girlfriend. Someone like this is not the kind of person you want to be with. Update 1 days after the first post. Before I start this, just let me say how thankful I am to everyone that commented. I read everything when I had time, and the advice really helped me with my decisions that followed. Last night I did a lot of thinking, played a lot of Overwatch, and read a lot of comments. One thing that stood out to me most was to change my password, so I did immediately. After that, around 9 p.m., I packed up everything she's left at my place, enough to fill a medium box, and everything she's ever given me. One plushy elephant. I wasn't bitter or anything. I just knew that enough was enough, and she isn't who she was when we first started hanging out. I drove to her house, and we talked before I gave her the box. She was very insistent that how she was acting is acceptable, and that things were going to change between us if we were to stay together. I said I'd rather not, went to my car, and brought her the box. I told her she could keep everything I've given her, and I left. Later last night, my phone exploded with texts from all of her friends. They called me names, said I wasn't a man, and just generally harassed me. I didn't respond to any of the texts, and instead just went to bed early. Work today was a breeze. All my coworkers were very nice and helpful. A girl I've had a little crush on even took me to lunch. Overall, today was pretty solid. She's been calling and texting still, mainly just berating me. You're not man enough for me anyway. I never really loved you, and honestly, I'm glad she did that because it made getting over her a much easier process. When I got home, just a little while ago, she was in my apartment. She was crying and asking me to take her back, saying she was so sorry for the things she said and it would never happen again. Now, normally, I'm kind of a pushover. I was probably hugged too much as a kid, shout out to my parents, but in this instance, I stood up for myself and told her what she did was wrong and immoral, and that she should just leave. She went into anger mode again and started screaming at me. I told her to get off my porch before I called the complex's security, and she left pretty quickly after that. The only real problem I have with any of this is how little I care about it. Instead, I feel very relieved that she's gone and I don't have to deal with her anymore. I guess my family felt the same because when I told them, the collective response was, "Oh, thank God." Feeling pretty great about my situation,